too many times it's been, oh, I want to go here, oh, I want to go here, I want to go here. But when it comes to planning, it's quiet. And this trip is actually going to happen this year. What is up, YouTube? It's your girl MissChis, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how to plan a successful group trip. Now you guys, this is not a simple thing I'm here to discuss. This is actually a very complicated topic, but I'm gonna make it really simple for you guys so that little whole plan in the group chat can actually come to fruition. Too many summers, too many times it's been, oh, I want to go here, oh, I want to go here, I want to go here. But when it comes to planning, it's quiet, it's silent in the group chat, and everything kind of just falls apart, and I don't want that for you. I know personally I'm going places, and so let me put you on too, because I've been on a couple of group trips in my life. I've gotten scammed, there's been drama, it's just like I've been through it all. So let me help you guys through this process, because it's summer 2021, we're all getting vaccinated, we're gonna be free, and we're gonna be in the streets. And what better way to do that than on a group trip? I just feel like it'd really disappointing if there was yet another summer where it's like, oh my gosh, look at my sis, you're reposting her on your Snap story, you're reposting her on Instagram. Okay, but what about you, sis? What about you? You said you wanted to go on a trip, and what happened? And so we're gonna avoid that situation. I'm gonna put you on. This trip is actually gonna happen this year. But before we dive into this video, make sure you leave me a like down below. Make sure you comment and also subscribe to my channel. My name's MissChis here on YouTube, and I'm basically just documenting my 20-somethings, giving advice here and there where I can, showing you the different processes and different things that happen in my life, I guess. But yeah, come along for the journey. It's gonna be a fun one. So now let's get into this video. I actually have my notes here, as usual. So if you catch me looking down below, that's what I'm looking at. This topic of how to plan a group trip, it's not easy. It's actually not easy at all. And so that's why I'm gonna really try and make it simple for you. I have 6 steps right here. 6 different steps, we're gonna break it down. All right, so first thing you wanna do, you guys, you have to decide what matters most to you. Does the who matter the most, or the what matter the most? So are you most concerned about who you're going on this trip with? Are you trying to go with your bae, your family, your besties, your graduating class? Is that what matters to you? Or is the fact that you're going on a vacation, you want to do a birthday thing, it's a bridesmaid trip, is this what matters to you most? Like the what of the vacation rather than the who? You need to decide which one of those is like your priority in this trip, because that's basically going to dictate the entire trip. That's how you're going to decide where you're going. That's how you decide what you're doing, if it's all-inclusive, if it's pay as you go. That's how all those decisions are going to be made. So you need to decide that up front. That's how you avoid any drama. Key things to consider when thinking about who you're traveling with. Let's say you say like, okay, the who is the most important part. Key things to think about. Are these like-minded people? Are these people you get along with? They kind of have the same vibes when you go out, when you travel with them. Like, are these people you're on the same page with? Bear in mind that you may not be like travel compatible with your besties. It's possible. You may not be travel compatible. I know I'm not travel compatible with some of my dearest friends, and that's okay. That's just what happens. A good way to see if you're travel compatible with someone is going out to eat. For example, if you're the person that goes out to the restaurant and you're saying, let's get the appetizer, let's get a couple mixed drinks, let's get the entree, let's get a second entree just to try it, let's mix this, let's mix that. And then your friend, on the other hand, is kind of like, yeah, I'll be ordering the appetizer as my entree. I'm not really trying to spend money. I bet the food here isn't even that good. Travel incompatible. Actually, it can even be before you get to the restaurant. Tell one of your friends that you're thinking about traveling with, oh, let's go out to dinner, let's have a key. Look where they choose. That will kind of give you an indication as to how they would move if you two were to travel together. You definitely need to test run this thing at a restaurant first. Like, go out to eat before you go travel with anyone, so you know if you're on the same page and you're about the same vibe. Because I guarantee you, if you're in the Dominican Republic and you're there with someone that isn't about spending money or trying new things, and you're about that life, it's not gonna be a fun trip. You need to be with people that are on the same page as you and establish that early, because you don't have to travel with everyone. It really isn't by force, so find people that are like-minded. Various things to consider along with like-minded is that are you in the same financial profile? Are you willing to spend the same amount of money? Finally, you also want to consider whether or not you have the same interest. If your friend is out here trying to go mountain hiking, biking, climbing, and you want to go to the spa, it's just not gonna be a wave. Like, it's not gonna be lit. It's not gonna work, you guys. So you have to figure that out up front in order for you guys to have the best trip possible. On the other side of that though, if the what is the part that's most important to you, i.e. you definitely want to go on like a spring break trip, you want to go on a graduation trip, you want to go on a birthday trip, I feel like you can figure out what sort of trip you want first and then kind of pick out the people you want to travel with. It's just a little bit more complicated when you're dead set on traveling with a specific group rather than being in a specific location or attending a specific event. I guess this is like number 3. I don't know if I've been numbering these, but this should technically be number 3, you guys. So the what is very important to deciding what sort of group trip you'll go on and whether or not your group trip will be successful. When I'm talking about the what, I think the most important thing to figure out actually first and foremost is if you're doing pay as you go or if you're doing all-inclusive. I think all-inclusives kind of have like a bad reputation. Everything's already bundled, you pay up front, and so people kind of think that the service may not be as good or that you won't really have as many options. However, depending on what group you have, depending on what your interests are, all-inclusive can be a wave, you guys. Literally, you wake up in the morning, you already have a cocktail in your hands. You already have the food in your hands. Your plate is there. The people are handing you drinks. There's entertainments. You just walk around living life. Turn down service. Go by the beach. Free kayak. Finessing. Like, I love me an all-inclusive. I have to stand. And actually, I think all-inclusives are very good options for young adults because, honestly, you shouldn't be that picky as a young adult. Like, I know y'all were eating cafeterias, y'all eat hoagies. I've seen the nastiness that college students eat. And so if you're like, I don't know if I can do it all-inclusive, believe me, it's still gonna be very nice compared to what you're used to. Y'all were living in dormitories with cockroaches. I didn't forget. You can't turn your nose up at an all-inclusive. Don't do that, because I saw where you live. I've seen your room. Look around in your room right now. Exactly. But yeah, you guys, I really do think an all-inclusive can be a vibe, but you have to decide if that's the vibe for you. So you have all-inclusive, right? But you also have pay-as-you-go, which is more like, okay, we'll get the Airbnb, we'll pay for each and every dinner that we go out to, we'll pay for excursions as you come. That's also good. I've also been on trips like that, but they do require a lot more planning, and if people aren't down for that, I don't know if it's worth it, you guys. So let's say you decide to do pay as you go. Next thing would be figuring out, okay, are we doing Airbnb or hotel? That's a very important distinction to make, especially for young adults who often live with roommates and often live with their friends. The whole novelty of an Airbnb can kind of be lost when you already live in an apartment with your friends, right? Like, I don't know, I'm currently living in an apartment with my friend, and I kind of just feel like if we get an Airbnb, is that just gonna be like my dormitory or my college apartment, but in Mexico? Like, we're still gonna have the same annoying dynamics. We're still gonna have like not enough forks to go around. We're still gonna have to cook for ourselves. I don't know if I'm about that life, and that's the sort of thing that happens when you are doing an Airbnb or you decide to book a rental or something along those lines. So bear that in mind. There are ways to get around that whole I don't want to clean on vacation bit. But at the end of the day, if you do choose to go to a rental, you're going to be more independent than you would be if you were at a hotel. Especially if you're traveling in a group of women, another thing to be kind of concerned about or something to flag would be the safety of whatever rental property you go to. But I do like the idea of private villas, so if anyone wants to help hook that up, just let me know. The what is actually quite a complicated section. So there's everything from the all-inclusive, pay-as-you-go, hotel, Airbnb, but then it gets down to like, what are your actual interests? Like, what do you want to do? In the past, I know my friends got together and we're planning this huge, super fun trip to Puerto Rico because everyone was gonna go to the Afro Nation Festival / concert that was happening. Sorry, I should have done a trigger warning because I know the term Afro Nation still triggers people. I'm sorry, you guys. Everyone was going to Afro Nation together, and so that was the point of the trip. That was going to be like what took over the day-to-day, and that's kind of what made the trip relevant, necessary, a vibe, who knows. Sadly, that trip didn't get to happen, but I liked the fact that Afro Nation was kind of like the focal point of their trip, but they had also built in like several other things that they wanted to do around the city just so that their days were planned. Personally, I'm very much an itinerary type of girl. I like to know what I'm doing, even if what I'm doing is just relaxing. Even if in the itinerary it says like 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. vibes. Like, I like to have that preset just so I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing for the day and I'm not just kind of aimless, if that makes sense. But that's me personally. As I said earlier, make sure you are on a trip with like-minded individuals. If someone on the trip is very into itineraries and others are not, that's gonna be another conflict of interest and make for bad vibes. Okay, Okay, so number 4 is where, aka location. And I know some other people will be like, this is everything. This is where you need to decide first. Location is everything. Location, location, location. But honestly, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. I feel like unless you're like actively trying to go to the Vatican or go see the Eiffel Tower specifically, like unless you have something very specific in mind, I feel like location isn't everything. And especially for a group trip, I feel like it's not that important. Also, who plans a group trip to like Paris? I wouldn't recommend group trips to certain places. If you're going anywhere in Europe, I don't really think you need a group for that. Also, traveling in a group is just gonna make things so much more difficult and so much more expensive. So I don't really recommend like group travel for mainland Europe or anywhere in Europe, including the UK as well. It's just gonna be pricey, so don't waste your time going there. I don't think cities are really great for group trips. I just think it usually hikes the price up and it's unnecessary. Yeah, so in conclusion, I really don't think location matters that much. There will probably be multiple destinations that work for your group trip. So honestly, once you have the numbers down, just start browsing. Use something like Apple Vacations or Expedia to see which locations are looking less expensive for the time that you want to travel, and move from there. So number 5, you guys, number 5, we're almost done with this video. This ended up being so much longer than I thought it would be. Anyway, you guys, number 5 is activities. Plan your activities and all your excursions ahead. You need to go on Groupon, you need to go on the coupon services, look up the agencies and book those experiences in advance. I think that'll also be a good way to kind of figure out what your budget for the trip is gonna be. And just a quick word about budget. You need to budget like $1,000 minimum. Just a solid $1,000. Just charge $1,000 to the game. Tell yourself that that's like the minimum that you're spending. Nothing is less fun than being on vacation and being like, yeah, I didn't even want to do that anyway. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You just ran out of money. And it's okay. I've been there. I've had that experience, it's okay. But let's not lie to ourselves and act like we didn't want to have that experience, because then why did we come, you know? Make peace with the fact that you're parting with money in advance, and going back to the people that you travel with, everyone needs to know the vibes. There can't be someone in the group whose budget is $500 and someone who doesn't have a budget. Like, the two are just incompatible. They don't work. They really don't work. But if you're not travel compatible, just don't do it, you guys. Save yourself the headache. Save yourself the drama. Anyway, so when you're planning your excursions in advance, that allows you to have a better idea of how much money you're gonna spend, and also allow you to save some money too. I also recommend planning like what restaurants you're going to in advance. Even when I'm at home, I really like to look at the menu in advance because I love food. But on top of that, it does give me an idea of how much money you'll spend as well. And so this is another one of the things that you really need to be wise about and break up between the group. It can't be just one person in charge of finding all the activities that you're gonna do while you're on vacation. Let's say you're going on a 5-day trip and you're in a group of 10 people. Everyone should be tasked with coming up with like at least 2 different cool restaurants or excursions or places to check out, and then you can all put them in a Google Doc and go through that Google Doc and be like, okay, that's lit. All right, let's try that one. All right, let's do that. And that'll make it so that the weight isn't just on one person to figure out everything, and you'll also have a really cool variety of things to choose from before you go. In the same vein though, if you don't want to plan anything in advance, cool. Just make sure you're on the same page with everyone else you're traveling with, but try and plan all those things in advance. Okay, so the final tip for planning a successful group trip, you guys, you need to all get together and purchase your tickets on the same day, maybe even at the same time. So ideal way to do this is kind of get everyone on FaceTime, get everyone on Zoom, talk about all the different things on your itinerary, make sure the location is set, make sure the ticket prices are set, and then everyone says, okay, we're doing this, you guys. We're doing this, all right, we're pressing play, we're buying the tickets, we're just making all those plans, booking all those reservations, sending money. Do that all in one night, all in one meeting, so no one can back out and say like, oh, I don't know, I'm still figuring out. Honestly, if people don't have their situations in order in time for that like itinerary meeting / the meeting where you buy the tickets and book the flights and all the rest of it, they're not coming on the trip. Like if they don't know by the time tickets are being bought, just take it that they're not coming on the trip. At some point, someone not knowing their schedule can actually just undermine the rest of the trip. So they might have to just charge it to the game. But luckily, now that you are a trip planning pro, there'll be other trips. And so if they can't come on that one, they can come on the next one, you know? Because group trips, after watching this video, are now simple and easy to coordinate. All right, you guys, so I really hope that these tips help you out. I hope that group trip actually comes to pass this year. Also, let me know if you have a group trip in the works. I'd love to know where people are going. I've been seeing absolutely sold out flights to like Puerto Rico. I see a lot of people like scheming on Hawaii. So where are people traveling? And let me know when you're traveling too. What are the motions? I'm just nosy like that, so let me know what's up. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and make sure you like it as well. Leave a comment as I said, and make sure you subscribe to my channel too, just so I can grow and keep giving you guys great content. Let me know if this video helped you out as well, and I can do another one about different types of trips you should take in your 20s, because I want more people to travel. Like, travel is such a beautiful experience, and I know it's kind of overhyped in some ways, and it can be overhyped, but I actually think it can be a really rewarding and enriching experience and help you grow a lot as an individual if you're lucky enough to make it happen. So yeah, that's all from me, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Happy travels, good luck, bye.